mutual confidence is extremely important. Common interests of all ASEAN, that is, we should keep peace, we should keep security among ourselves, because we need to build confidence for others from outside to come in and do business with us, invest in us, and to make sure that we can continue to play a constructive role as a group. So we have to keep peace within ourselves, we have to have mutual confidence among ourselves, we have to build a higher trust among ourselves. And in my 5 years of service as ASEAN Secretary General, I have tried to help all sides understand each other, Thailand and Cambodia, the issues of previously Philippines and Singapore, and Philippines and Malaysia, try to get them to think in the larger picture, larger interests of the entire region, rather than just national interests, rather than just a bilateral issue. Think of it as a larger issue for ASEAN, and we have to be able to make some concessions for the larger interests of the community of ASEAN. I think that is becoming more and more evident within ASEAN. The spirit of ASEAN is important. It's a gesture of goodwill and appreciation to Japan and to the people of Japan, who had been very, very supportive and helpful to ASEAN from the very beginning. Japan is ASEAN's longest dialogue partner. Last year, we celebrated 40th anniversary of our dialogue partnership, and Japan has been extremely helpful for ASEAN to grow and strengthen and progress. So when the earthquake came in March 2011, I thought the least that ASEAN could do was to show that sympathy. And I was very inspired and moved by the outpouring of sympathy and goodwill of the people in ASEAN. In many cases, individual contributions were more than government official help or assistance to the people of Sendai, people of Ishinomaki. So I was very moved, and I thought the least we could do is to show that in the name of ASEAN, we brought a movie star from Thailand, to sing and to dance. We brought dancers, we brought musicians to help. And then we cooked hot meals. It was to show our appreciation to what Japan and the Japanese people have done for us. It's a very interesting institution, a small college, consider themselves liberal arts, 4 years of education, preparing themselves for various professions into the future. Rather isolated, but international. So I thought it was a very unique audience that you could speak to a young group of Japanese who are rather open in their mentality, in their mindset, being taught issues and lessons and languages and history from the global perspective. So I think they were rather delighted to have an opportunity to interact with my background, people of my background, with rather extended international connectivity and exposure and experiences. I was able to assure them and reassure them that liberal arts education, being interested in the wider issues of human beings as human family is important, that you don't go straight into the profession but be very narrow. The world in the future is going to require all of us to be more tolerant, broader in our perspective, and be prepared for the diversity in the world, in the international community. And if you are well informed from the beginning, that you have to approach many of the global issues and global challenges from a wider perspective than just a national perspective, your own country's narrow interests, then you will have some positive impact on the world. And I think they are very well prepared for their future. I think young people are now, these days and age, very eager, very anxious to be connected, to know more, and to understand issues from various perspectives. While they have the ability to connect through modern technology, IT, we also need to encourage them to move around, be mobile, be connected, and be able to experience firsthand on a personal basis. So we use the modern technology to connect, to increase their curiosity, to increase their knowledge, their information, but they have to go one step further, and that is to actually move and live in different cultures in order to appreciate the diversity of the human family more. And I see this in the younger generation all across the world, Japanese or Thai, but they need the guidance, they need the advice, they need the reassurance that they should not be satisfied, be content with their own narrow national interests or communal interests or cultural framework that they grow up in, but open up and expand their perspective, their mindset, so that in the future they can live together, they can work together, because the world is getting very small. The world is getting crowded. Without mutual respect, mutual understanding, and mutual trusts and tolerance for the diversity, for the differences that we have between us, it's going to be difficult to keep peace, security, and stability that we need. I think Japan and Thailand have been friends for a long time. I think the largest investment of Japan outside of Japan would be in Thailand, in ASEAN, and very productive. And I think the relationship has been mutually beneficial. What happened to Thailand in Thailand is, I would call it a democracy derailed. That the country needs to get back on the path of democracy, but it needs support, it needs encouragement, it needs sympathy. And then the question to all of us would be, how do we make sure that a form of democracy that we want to see in every country around the world is more than just the form, more than just the institutions, more than just the framework, the constitution, political parties, parliament. Is that enough? Or we want substantive democratic tradition or democratic politics, the rule of law, the equality, the responsibility, the participation, the transparency, check and balance. All these things have to be instituted. It would take a lot of living experiences, a lot of exchange, a lot of learning, a lot of learning through mistakes. And I think that's what Thailand is going through. It will remain friendly, it will remain open, it will remain productive, but it needs time to find its new balance. I think human resource development is the most important contribution that any society can make to the next. Help them to develop their own leadership, their own human resource, their own future generations. I think Japan has a lot to share, to show and to offer. The way in which you organize your society, the way in which you solve your problems, the way in which you manage your own differences in every level, every dimension of your society, political, economic, social, all these things I think need to be appreciated. That's what Japan can show or can share. Cannot be imposed, cannot be forced onto other people, but at least you can show and share the way in which you do things, bit by bit, step by step, the discipline, the hard working, the honesty, the responsibility, the sense of professionalism in everything you do. All these things are important for social development, for political development, for economic development, or for a holistic development of any society. Japan can share and show.